Yesterday, four banks, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and PNC, reported earnings beat expectations, but all are trading down. What is going on with these bank stocks?
King, I have served on the board of directors of banks for over a 15-year period, and what I saw happening yesterday when the earnings were released by these banks, I was surprised, although I shouldn't have been, by the reaction then to the market in terms of the value dropping. It's counterintuitive because these banks are exceeding earnings expectations, yet the stock drops. So does it make sense that shareholders should be losing value when obviously the banks are doing better than they expected? So it's a little bit discouraging. But, it's interesting what happened yesterday. I'm going to paraphrase Jamie Dimon, who's the chairman of JP Morgan, yesterday, because he really nailed what's going on, and a lot of people are calling it a rant, but I just want to highlight a few points here. One of the things he said was that the country's been growing at 1.5 to 2% in spite of stupidity and political gridlock. And he also went on to say that we would have much stronger growth had we made intelligent decisions and not had gridlock. He went on to talk about corporate taxation being critical, and that as a country we've been driving capital earnings overseas, which is why there's $2 trillion outside the country that are benefiting these corporations, but certainly our country is not getting that benefit. And he went on to say, if this administration can make breakthroughs in taxes, infrastructure, regulatory reform, it would be extraordinarily beneficial. But we've become the most bureaucratic, confusing, and litigious society on the planet. So these are really, really strong points. He even threw one more thing in there, which I took somewhat as a shot at the media. He said that people are going to write about this, saying that the things he's saying is to benefit corporations, but he came back with that and said it's not for corporations, and that competitive taxes are important for business and business growth, which is important for jobs and wage growth. So those were really, really strong words coming from Jamie Dimon, and I think he's right here, because why did the stock value go down? With Republicans holding both houses of Congress, and you have a Republican White House, this is supposed to be morning in America, and it's not. We still have a nightmare on our hands. And unless some things start to happen in Washington and we get out of gridlock, the Trump bump on Wall Street is really going to become the Trump dump in my mind. And what's that about? We got to deal with health care, and we got to have reform there. Repeal and replace, whatever it takes. We need substantial tax reform, which is going to be about tax cuts across the board, and we need lessening of regulations. Now, these are things that Donald Trump had promised. He has to deliver. I look at it this way. I see the U.S. economy, it's like a Ferrari sitting in your driveway, and it's filled with low-grade fuel, and we're going to sputter. But if we could put some high test in that tank and rev up the engine, then we could really grow to our full capacity. So with all that said, the bottom line is this. The frustration, not just in the banking industry, but perhaps in other sectors, and we're going to see more of this, if we don't stop messing around in Washington and get some real things done, people are going to suffer, because I personally believe that the stock market, the rise that we've seen, has a real potential to slow down, because the outlook is going to be more doom and gloom than positive.